Yo, what's good? We in the building. We in the building. This your guy Flamingo Fred. This is the Bird of Paradise podcast out of Pink Hollywood. What's going on, lady? Introduce yourself.
My name's Bryana Helena. What's up?
Man, we just chilling on this hump day. That's it. Whatever we had going on. What you had going on today on the hump day?
Just working.
Yeah, that's it. Working, getting through the week.
Yeah.
It's a long week. You start calculating the days and like, man, that Wednesday be hard. You're like, all right, I got 2 more days to go.
Yeah. So close. So close.
Yeah, I like that. I like that song a lot in that video. You got a powerful voice.
Thank you.
You got a powerful voice. Um, so you in the city. You from the Bay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what part of the Bay you from?
North Bay, Sausalito.
Okay, I'm from out that way. I'm up in Southern Oregon now.
Oh, for sure.
So I'm not that far, but I'm from the Bay. Graduated high school in San Francisco, the whole thing.
Cool.
Yeah. So from Sausalito. So how long have you been making music?
Well, I've been actively releasing since January, but I've been writing music since I was 8.
Okay. So since you were 8, so you were a small child when you're like, man, I got a voice.
Yeah, I just always wanted to be on some type of stage, whether it was singing, dancing, or acting. Like in school, I was always just doing that. I would even like stand up in class in the middle of like while the teacher's talking and start singing and dancing. It was I don't know, but I liked it. It was how I was communicating.
That's dope. Um, so you said you started actively releasing in January. Did it just take you a while to like get get going, or what was the process to it be in January?
Well, I didn't really think that I was gonna be able to go for my dreams. Like I was pursuing Plan B, which was like law school, and
Mm-hmm.
you know the purpose and the mission still was to be an advocate for women, and but I wanted to do that through like whether it was criminal law with women that had been through like psychological abuse and were in situations where they were creating, well, they were, for example, they killed their husband, but their husband was drove them crazy for 20 years or whatever, and they snapped, their sanity lapsed,
Damn.
so I was very empowered by that. That's actually what Bleed's about. What I wrote Bleed about. But yeah, so that was just heady, and school's cool, but I like to go out and learn and kind of just follow where the world takes me.
Yeah.
So I found my way back into karaoke bars,
Mm-hmm.
well, dive bars in Marin County when I was just a little bit before 21. Started singing, and then I was like, oh, I can actually do this, and started live performing. And so I had a full group by September of 2022. And then I was actively gigging in February 2023, and I was in 5 groups by May of 2023.
So five different like groups, just music groups.
Yeah.
Is that hard to balance? Is it hard to balance out were these groups like different genres or
Uh-huh.
just okay? That's dope.
Yeah, they were all across the board. I mean, I had my own group, which was kind of more like it was a trio. We were just kind of playing like soul, R&B, pop stuff, like
Mm-hmm.
that was suitable for smaller venues, and just something that it was a cover song, right? It wasn't my own, so I had to find things that I related with that I could perform and be in that vulnerable place, and then having that together and doing that was its own thing. And then we started incorporating the originals as time went on. But I was also in a pop group in South SF.
Mm.
Um, and it was like 2000s pop, 90s, 2000s pop. And as soon as we started doing Carly Rae Jepsen, I just said no. I was like, I was getting a little, I mean, I don't know. It was just, it hurts my voice to sing like that, like sing super straight.
Yeah.
Um, and so yeah, I was doing that. And that was cool, but I really wanted to just create my own thing. And I think that was like the last part, that before I was really just like, it came down here like a year ago for like 5 days. And I was actually going to move out here a year ago, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Um,
So
and yeah.
yeah, that's dope. I mean, was it, hard on you being in the five groups besides, the different directions they were going? Was it like a strain or you was just ready to go?
I was singing. I was using different parts of my voice all the time. It was cool because I was able to be in a mezzo soprano role all the time. So I was like actually comfortable singing everything I was. I never had to stretch to be like, the lower octaves of my range, which would take me out of that sweet spot prima facie that I usually sit in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but no, it was great. And I didn't have to work at a certain point because it was so time consuming.
Yeah.
And the other groups were, one was a big band, and that was a 9-person band. That was so much fun. But those shows were crazy. Um,
Man.
that was a lot of fun. And doing background singing too. I really loved being able to blend and like just, just use my ear. It was so much fun. And then work with other vocalists too. That was definitely one of my favorite things about working in all of those groups, is being able to learn from other vocalists and collaborate with them.
Yeah, that's dope. Like what is a surprise genre that you would like want to sing and do something in that maybe people wouldn't expect? Like what's the surprise genre that you, because of course people expect you to do pop and R&B. Like what's the surprise genre that you people wouldn't expect?
I mean, I get kind of into like really like experimental stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I listen to a lot of really experimental stuff. That's just kind of like stuff that's really different. I feel like I would probably just create something that's just really weird and unconventional. Um, that's like more about the sound and like the physics behind the sound or something like that. The only thing I can think about that would be like similar would probably be hiatus coyote or like Sigur Rós. Um, and if they're just kind of unconventional, it's more just phonetics and lots of ethereal, like instruments just going all different directions, but it's
Mm-hmm.
cohesive and it feels like it makes an entire picture, paints a picture. Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. Like who is your favorite artist? Like actually name your five favorite artists.
Okay. My top favorite artist that I always go back to is Donny Hathaway.
Mm.
Um, I can run to his music. I can cry to his music. I can laugh to his music. I can feel like if I need to sit and feel my emotions, it's Donny Hathaway all the way. But I love Amy Winehouse.
Mm.
Um, I love Mariah Carey. I love um, Brent Faiyaz, Jasmine Sullivan, Alicia Keys.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, I love a lot of artists. I listen to music 24/7.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. If you could work with somebody, who would you work with?
Probably Brent Faiyaz for sure.
Mm. That's dope. So you're doing this music thing. You're singing. Where do you want to push yourself to? You said you like to entertain, act like where do you want to push yourself to with your music, and what do you want to do with it? You know.
I definitely think that my music is already helping people in my life, which is awesome. Like I had my friends, and when I was back in the Bay, she picked me up one night and she's playing Bleed because she's going through something with her friend, her man, or whatever that was.
Yeah.
And she like changed it. And I was like, well, I'm happy that my music is helping you. I like seeing that my music is helping people. And then I just, because that's what it did. Like for me to birth that project, it was like, it helped me. Like it helped me like actually be able to heal from what I was going through. Or like process the emotion at all. But I really want to be an arena performer. I really think that it would be incredible to be on a stage in front of like a bunch of people. I just think my energy would have a blast doing that. And being super duper adaptable, trying lots of new styles, new things, learning. I really want to get into the piano at some point.
Mm.
Like really get into the piano. Probably compose for movies, for really anything, write for other artists, collaborate. Yeah, just
What
music my whole life, you know?
Okay, okay, let's go there. What type of movies would you like to compose for? Like what's your genre?
I think those those weird independent films that are just really scenic.
Yeah.
Like It Follows. But I mean that's even like a horror film. So it's across genres, you know, but just something that's really, the imagery is just really vivid, and it's more about, this is the visual, you know, like this
Yeah.
is what's going on, you're there, and it invokes, like, it has to be something that's really powerful in really any sense.
What's your favorite movie?
Of all time.
Yeah, what's your favorite movie?
mm, that's hard.
Or
Prob
list some of your favorite, because I'm big on movies and film too.
Yeah.
Or there's movies that I just like because of different things. So I'm big on film. So when you start talking about tying music into, I'm an artist. When you start talking about tying music into film, that's something I'm big on, is bringing music to film, because when I make music, a lot of times it's kind of like I'm acting. I visualize scenes and different things when making music.
um when I was a kid, it was Contagion,
Mm.
in 2012, um and Across the Universe. So those
Mm.
were my three favorite movies as a kid. I think that was the last time I was really like able to dive into movies. The last like 10 years or so, it's definitely been shows.
Yeah.
Um, but those three movies for sure. Kill Bill as well. Love Kill
I,
Bill.
I was I was real big on Kill Bill, and then I just kind of faded away, and then I just got more into like because I'm big on Tarantino, obviously.
Hmm.
I think one of my favorite Tarantino, of course, there's Pulp Fiction, but kind of an underrated one was The Hateful Eight.
Oh yeah,
I I,
that's a good one.
I kind of That's kind of one of my favorite ones. Of course, Pulp Fiction is like one of the favorite ones, but Hateful Eight is like up there. And Kill Bill is dope too. Don't get me wrong, Kill Bill is dope, but it's not the top of Tarantino for me,
Hmm.
you know. And what's your favorite shows? Like, what kind of shows are you watching?
My favorites: Breaking Bad,
Mm.
Power, um, Queen of the South was one of them. Animal Kingdom. Um, oh, I love biopics. I'm obsessed with biopics and music documentaries.
I like biopic. I love documentaries. I like biopics, but sometimes I feel like the biopics start going away from the actual event
Yeah,
sometimes, and that bothers me. But
yeah,
like if it's a book on somebody's life, I love reading that. Documentaries, I love that.
yeah. Like VH1 Behind the Music was. I love when they're like talking about like basically just the way it goes. Like in a little, and it's short enough that they cover the highlights and everything, and they kind of talk about specifically like the artist, and they have the pictures, and it's not so like, yeah, I guess the live action ones totally, they do kind of, the ones that I've seen recently, I mean especially the Amy Winehouse one.
I know that I haven't seen that, but I know that was intense.
Yeah, yeah.
I always like, I guess in everything, I always like to hear about like people, the stuff they had to go through and they finally got their break and they made it. I always love those
Mhm.
watching that part of anything. Like, damn, they went through this, they went through this, this happened, and they were ready to quit, and then boom, something happened, and now we know them as whatever big artist it is.
Yeah.
That's what I always love about that. Like you hear some, like recently, like I watched some documentaries, but I got an audio book on Morris Day and the Time, which was Prince's artist, Morris Day and the Time.
Mhm.
And then there was also a George Clinton book I listened to from George Clinton and the Parliament Funkadelic.
Oh, nice.
And I was just checking them out because I've been real into like funk and stuff lately, and you know, watching checking that out. So those were two cool books, just hearing about their struggles and stuff.
Yeah.
What do you think your biggest struggle is being an artist, and doing this thing? What is some of the humps you had to get over?
Myself.
Mm. In what aspect?
um I'm extremely hard on myself to the point where I beat myself up. Like, I mean, like, I was classically trained as a kid, so um like, just I tend to tear myself down. And also regulation. So knowing when to be able to give yourself that tough love, and then also like knowing when, okay, you know what, it's like chill. But like it's definitely been me like really standing in the way of myself a lot of the times. But also I think just with the industry is changing so much. Like everything is changing. Like I feel like everything we knew about like music and everything as a kid, what or I knew as a kid, has like completely just flipped
Can you
because
can
of
you
social
explain
media
that?
and tech.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Can you explain it and like just from your perspective? Because like artists come on every week, and part of it we talk about music, but we talk about ideas and it's motivational and people's
Hmm.
outlooks. But how do you think everything is flipping? Because I feel a huge shift coming too. Exactly how that's gonna look, I'm not sure, but I want to hear your
Yeah.
perspective.
I mean, I think that like it's this whole content creation thing. I'm good at it, like I can do it and everything and the consistency and stuff, but sometimes I just want to sit as a vocalist, as a performer. I have to take like hours a day to work on my voice. And I could do
Yeah,
that on a live, but I have to work too. And so a lot of the times, like I'm working and then I'm also warming up, or I'm working on pieces, or like I'm honing my craft. And I could do that on a live stream, or I could do that like, on TikTok or whatever. But the editing, the like, the consistency, sometimes I can't sing that day. And I have to focus on other things. And it's just having to like prioritize all that. But that's like also the whole thing about the industry. It's like it's this tech renaissance that we have to create for ourselves, that it's so, is everything becoming the same, or is everything just, you have to be so different, or like what? I want to just sing, I want to do me. And it's like I thought I knew what was going on, but it's better to just say I'm gonna just keep doing it and go with the changes. Whatever feels good, whatever is aligned with um, my morals, my path, what feels good, what's healthy to me, my
yeah,
heart, my spirituality.
yeah. I think it's in this day and age, just having a talent is almost, well, I'm not going to say it's not enough. It's plenty, but there's different ways around it. Because I mean, there's tons of people on the internet, which at one point we would have considered not really talented.
Hmm.
Lots of people doing different things, worldwide. They're known that aren't really talented, but we live in a day and age where that's where content comes in. People need to see your face damn near every day. What are you? It's
Yeah, the
not just,
intention.
yeah, just not singing. What are you doing? What is this? What is that? And people need to see you every day. Hold on right quick. We might have had a technical difficulties. We'll be right back.
Felt you walk in. I saw that blank stare in your eyes. You looked at me like it was a surprise. I'm here every goddamn Friday night.
Yeah, we're back.
Yo, my bad. It just like totally crashed out on me.
Oh, it's all good. Shit happens. Shit happens. No worries. As long as long as you figure it out and it's not me. Um, so we're talking about content,
Hmm.
and we're talking about how much time and energy is required. And I think it sucks in a sense, that you got to do this, this, and that. But flip side to it, I feel like you're able to make a lane. I think this is the problem. Realistically, most artists have to be their own manager. They have to be their own business person. They have to make the money. They have to do the editing. They have to do this. They have to do that. If you had a team of people doing a lot of those things for you, do you think it would be different?
Well, then I would just get to create, and then I would just be able to like do that all the time and sit in one headspace.
Yeah.
Which I feel like we're switching brains, like we're switching hats almost with the business and the stuff. So like my creative output is going in because I want to create music all the time. Like I want to create sounds um and harmonies and songs and you know videos that to go with the songs and album covers. But when it comes to creating like content, it's the consistency. I think it's the keeping up with the audience that is because it's like yeah, it's just posting the content and then having to take that extra lane because I feel like sometimes like when you are putting something out there, maybe it could be about your music or like whatever, but it's harder to put like another lane and like do that unless you do the auto post and then you take like a
Hmm.
bunch of time to create all that content. But then some days you feel like you want to make something completely different because that's just what your gut's telling you, and it's like, oh, okay. So it's like taking like something that's almost not really super structured, um and making it very structured, you know. um
Yeah,
and
I
that's
could
the hard part about content creation for me, at least.
Yeah, I see that. I don't think people realize with music. I think there's people that taught themselves. I feel like this when I early on when I was making music, and I can say this for another other people that I'm sure that their process. You know, a lot of people I feel like are kind of robotic when they're maybe creating that first. You know, and they might have learned how to rap or do this or do that, and they're just trying to do it. But I feel like when you get to a certain level as an artist, you kind of go into like a trance or a zone, you know.
Hmm.
You can't just pull that. Like for me, I can't just, yeah, I can make a song at any time, but for me to go to really creating how I want to, I kind of have to go into this zone, and it's like this mental space, and go there, and then I start creating, and I'm like in this trance or zone, and
Yeah.
it might last for a couple hours or however long, and then I create, and then I wind down, and then maybe I can get back into it again, or maybe not, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. No, I totally feel that. It's sometimes
So
it's weeks.
yeah,
Weeks. It can be months.
yeah, and I think some people, they don't realize how much energy it takes to create. Even like sometimes being on the podcast, like if I have a couple interviews in the night, as much as I'm a talker and sociable and doing this, it requires energy to do that and get yourself
Hmm.
in that mode to talk to people and carry conversation. You know, it requires
Yeah,
energy.
for sure. All of it does. Especially like I feel like, uh, promoting yourself and going out and like showing face, and then also like you have to show face for your internet following and everything. And then it's like, okay, these are like the same thing essentially, but um I, I I noticed this definitely in LA. I feel like in the Bay, just driving from place to place, you go 30 miles in 30 minutes. Out here, it's like you spend so much time driving from like one part of the city to another, and it's like even in the days like I do ride share and everything, but even in the days I don't do ride share, I'm like driving for like a quarter of my day, and it's just like, and then people drive like wild out here, so you're trying to like you can't really multitask and drive.
Yeah.
Like it's a different pace here for sure. That and then like that on top of all of it and the energy that it takes to create.
So
um
you're in LA right now?
yes, yes.
Is that strictly a music career move, or you just what?
Oh yeah, growth,
Yeah. It's
for
funny
sure.
because I talked last week. I talked to a lady that was from LA, but she moved to the Bay and was doing music. And you from the Bay, and now you're in LA, which happens all the time.
Hmm.
What how do you like LA? How is it? How is, the music things you've seen and being in the mix?
I think it's cool. I'm honestly never bored. Definitely never bored. Even just walking like a block down the street, never bored. I love that everyone is an artist in some like sort of fashion. Like even if they're doing like a career that normally wouldn't be considered an art career, they're still an artist in that career, you know?
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful thing about LA. And I think that it's a very like even though like the city is very polarized spiritually, it's very empathetic. Like everyone is one. It's just like I feel like everyone is just one way or the other. Like you're driving around and everyone's super angry at one point, and then everyone's like super nice, and
Yeah.
it's just like it's so shifty. It's really, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. LA is a whole different animal. I feel like, of
Mhm.
course, a lot of people are there, and they might be an artist at heart, but they're working and kind of waiting on that breakthrough. I feel, that's a LA thing.
Yeah.
They're working, waiting for a breakthrough, waiting for an opportunity, and things like that. So, a lot of people to move to LA initially, to pursue their dreams, and, got to work and keep it going.
Yeah, you gotta love it. I mean, I love music so much and creating music so much that like it's just I don't even know what other way to go because that's me. That's what I do.
Yeah, most definitely. Do you notice a big difference between the music scene in LA versus the Bay?
Yeah, I think mostly because I was in the live music scene up in the Bay more so than the recording music scene. Because when I was recording, I met my engineer when I was 19, and I wasn't in the best place, and we were actually in something that my friends called a trap house, but it was just a bunch of people lived there, and he recorded my first hook. And so like when I was doing music and stuff, I'd see him and that was about it. I would go to events and stuff like that, but I was really finding my place around the musicians and around like people that were really just trying to hone their craft instead of more honing the look of it. Down here it's all about the look. I've definitely
Mhm.
found some people that are really into their craft and everything, which is awesome. But it's harder to find for sure because I feel like people get so lost in the fame or what it looks like, and they
Yeah.
really forget about what it's actually about. You know?
Yeah, I mean, people are into it for different things. Some people are just dying to be a celebrity, you know what I mean? And
Hmm.
some people, actually like to create and do music and do this and do that. Um, for me personally, I'm not dying to be anybody's celebrity. I'm happy underground, but I've done some acting and different stuff, content online, making skits and doing music. And of course, you want people to notice what you have going on and,
Hmm.
have the people that, resonate with you and things like that. But just to be, super celebrity. Like, nah, I already, I'm comfortable with me, and I've always kind of had attention and did my thing. Like to be a super celebrity, I don't want to be that,
Yeah.
But for each their own. Some people want to be Beyonce,
Right.
you know. So that's how it goes. You said you had a album coming out fairly soon.
Yes. Um, I'm still. I mean, like, it's not the best. I anyone who's listening to this that's doing this, don't follow me with this. But like, I'm still trying to figure out when I'm dropping it. But it's finished. It's
We're
just
we're all trying to figure that out.
yeah, it's procrastination with the admin stuff. I really like. I have a whole entire picture in my head, and it's just putting the puzzle pieces together. And
Yeah,
that's like what I said before. Like I'm my own worst enemy because I will literally push it off because I'm just like I've got too many other things and I'm comfortable with the chaos when I need to look at the picture and put it together. You know?
yeah. It's at one point, like if I really wanted to, I probably got like 3, 4 albums at home I could drop
Hmm.
of stuff that I've just done and I got laying around. I'm experimenting doing this, laying around. And previously I probably would have dropped it, but now I've got into my head, oh, it has to be this way and doing this and doing this and doing that and everything else. But I just really need to get back to releasing a single on a weekly basis, of course, and have the finished product and have that packaged up. But I need to just start releasing because I have like 4 projects sitting around, and I'm already ready to get to the next project. So I mean, how many projects I'm gonna have at home? 10 and just sitting there? That's that's no good.
Right. Yeah,
That's
it's
no
all
good.
about letting people hear
Hear
what you're
it.
making.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
know. Any last shout outs or anything you want to give?
Um, I'm gonna thank my bassist real quick. Uh, Paul. I know he's out there. Crash with Trap LA. He's been great. Dale promoter. Um, definitely for helping me out here, you know. And then my mom, my dad, my sister, my brother, my fam, love them. My friends, you know, there's a lot of people I could thank. You know, I'm truly grateful for, you know, everyone who's come into my life and taught me something, and you know, seen the things in me on the days that I wasn't able to see them. You know,
Most definitely.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's super cool. I appreciate you coming through. You're gonna have to come back again and keep me up with your progress, on Instagram or whatever off wax. And
Oh yeah, thank you.
much love to you and keep pushing and doing your thing and creating.
Yeah, thank you. So great talking to you.
All right. Peace out, girl.
Take care.